Millions and millions of people. Has she ever talked that way about radical Islam? No. Or about those who oppose and murder women and gays overseas? Has Hillary Clinton ever called people who support these practices deplorable and irredeemable? No. In many countries overseas, non-believers face the death penalty. Where is Hillary's condemnation there? There is no condemnation. Let's ask Hillary Clinton, how many people who subscribe to radical Islamic views and support the oppression of non-believers would you call deplorable or irredeemable? Or are those words reserved only for hardworking Americans that truly love our country and they want to make a statement? To hear the words Hillary Clinton uses, one could be forgiven for getting the impression that she thinks these hardworking Americans are somehow a greater threat to our country than Islamic extremists. This summer, there has been an ISIS attack launched outside the war zones of the Middle East every 84 hours. Here in America, we've seen one brutal attack after another. 13 were, have you ever seen anything like what's going on with our country? And we don't do anything. 13 were murdered and 38 were wounded in the assault on Fort Hood. The Boston Marathon bombing wounded and maimed 264 people and ultimately left 5 dead, including 2 police officers, and so badly wounded. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, 5 unarmed Marines were shot and killed at a military recruiting center. Last December, 14 innocent Americans were gunned down at a party. Think of it, an office party in San Bernardino, and another 22 were horribly injured. In June, 49 Americans were executed at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, and another 53 were injured terribly. It was the worst mass shooting in our history and the worst attack on the LGBTQ community in our history. In Europe, we have seen the same carnage and bloodshed inflicted upon our closest allies. In January 2015, a French satirical newspaper, Charlie Hebdo, was attacked for publishing cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. 12 were killed, including 2 police officers, and 11 were wounded. 2 days later, 4 were murdered in a Jewish deli. In November 2015, terrorists went on shooting, and they just went on a rampage. And this you heard, and you'll never hear the end of it. One of the worst things that anybody has ever seen. They went on a rampage. They slaughtered 130 people and wounded 368 people, so gravely wounded that many are still in the hospitals. And they'll never be the same. In March of this year, terrorists detonated a bomb in the Brussels airport, killing 32 and injuring 340 people. This July, the south of France, an Islamic terrorist turned his truck into an instrument of mass murder, killing 85 men, women, and children, and wounding 308 people. Among the dead were 2 Americans, a Texas father and his 11-year-old son. Shortly after that, in Germany, a refugee armed with an axe wounded 5 people in a gruesome train attack. Also this summer, an ISIS killer invaded a Christian church in Normandy and forced an 85-year-old priest to his knees and slit his throat right before his congregation. Overseas, ISIS has carried out one unthinkable atrocity after another. Christians driven from their homes and hunted for extermination. ISIS rounding up what it calls the Nation of the Cross in a campaign of genocide, horrible genocide. We cannot let this evil continue. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. Nor can we let the hateful ideology of radical Islam, its oppression of women, gays, children, and non-believers be allowed to reside or spread within our country. Just can't do it. We will defeat radical Islamic terrorism, just as we have defeated every threat we have faced in every age before. But we will not defeat it with closed eyes or silent voices. Anyone who cannot name our enemy is not fit to lead this country. Do we love our country? Do we love our country? Thank you. Thank you. Greatest people on earth. And we have a lot of great people on earth. I have to tell you that, folks. We have a lot of great people on earth. But we have to fight the bad ones. We have to all do it together. Anyone who cannot condemn the hatred, the oppression and violence of radical Islam lacks the moral clarity to serve as our president. Just remember, doing it for many, many years, and now she's saying what she's going to do. She very much caused the problem when you think about it. Her weakness, her ineffectiveness caused the problem, and now she wants to be president? I don't think so. The commander-in-chief of this nation must speak with moral clarity and conviction. Our system of government is the best in the world, and as your president, I will defend our values and speak out against all of those who assault our values in any way, shape, or form. We will be united. Thank you. We will be united and unified as Americans across all backgrounds and all walks of life. Today, we have caught this evil thug who planted the bombs. Thank you, law enforcement. Thank you, police. Great. But the bad part, now we will give him amazing hospitalization. He will be taken care of by some of the best doctors in the world. He will be given a fully modern and updated hospital room. And he'll probably even have room service, knowing the way our country is. And on top of all of that, he will be represented by an outstanding lawyer. His case will go through the various court systems for years, and in the end, people will forget, and his punishment will not be what it once would have been. What a sad situation. We must have speedy but fair trials, and we must deliver a just and very harsh punishment to these people. We must also use whatever lawful methods are available to obtain information from the apprehended suspect to get information before it's no longer timely. And Congress should pass measures to ensure that foreign enemy combatants are treated as such. These are enemies, these are combatants, and we have to be tough and we have to be strong. Hillary Clinton is a weak and ineffective person. And I will tell you, if you choose Donald Trump, these problems are going to go away far, far greater than anybody would think. Believe me. She is a weak and ineffective person. Just remember that. Hillary Clinton, and they are looking, oh, they want her so badly. They want her so badly. They want her so badly to be your president, you have no idea. It will be a field day. So Hillary Clinton's policies in Iraq, Libya, Syria, other places are largely responsible for the rise of ISIS in the first place. Her attacks on me are all meant to deflect from her record of unleashing this monster of evil on us and all over the world. And her claim that my opposition to radical Islamic terrorism is this was something she said today, that it's my strong opposition to these people. That's a recruiting tool, and it demonstrates a level of ignorance about the terror threat and its motivations. Now, let me just tell you, she is not the right person to solve a problem that largely her and Obama gave us. That Obama gave us. It disqualifies her from being a credible presidential candidate, in my opinion. What do I know? In my opinion, does everybody agree with me or not?